5 storytellers tonight. They're all people who are doing good in the world, and we really wanted to hear the stories from the front lines, the people who are actually benefiting from the work that foundations and nonprofits in the communications network are doing.
It's 11:30 at night, which is way past my bedtime, and I can't sleep. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, in the Ramada Inn, which is my home for the night. I'm anxious. It's about 6 months ago, and it's my first time working directly with community groups, not large nonprofits or their leaders, training them on how to counter dangerous speech. And even though it seemed like the training went well, I left still wondering, did they really exchange information? Were they really going to go have coffee? Was it going to make a difference, or would it stop feeling relevant to them the second that they walked out of that room? So fast forward to last week, and I'm back in Florida, and I'm with Faith in Public Life again, but this time in Orlando. And I've gotten more confident with the training. We had this training in Orlando because some Orlando faith leaders had driven all the way to Jacksonville for that first training and requested to have it in their own city. And this group was the most engaged yet. They asked questions throughout, and by the end of the training, they were suggesting ideas for actions they could take and requesting a 2-day version so that they could really put language of peace into action, and I slept well that night. Thank you.
Sometimes hearing a story on television or digital, you can't really touch the problem. When you're in this close of proximity of the storyteller, it makes it more real. You can feel their passion, you can feel the pain. And what's really cool, you felt the excitement at the end of it. You're like, it was almost as if they were rising as they were telling the story. And that's part of their life story. They were rising above.
As a founder of a nonprofit, I can tell you it's not easy telling your story. I was born in Baltimore City, 1987, at the height of the crack epidemic. I was born as a crack baby. My dad, he was in prison. But I didn't want to be like my family. I didn't want to be like the circumstances that I didn't choose. So I started to teach myself how to read. It went from 3-letter words to 4-letter words to 5-letter words, and so on and so forth. And I finally got out that transitional class, 9T. Later that year, I started coaching high school football for the first time in my life. I met a young man by the name of Malik Forster. Malik said to me he went to one of the lowest performing schools in Glen Burnie, one of the worst athletic schools that you could ever see in the world, I promise you. I told Malik that if he stuck with me, that he would do something that I couldn't do because I only teach young men to be better than me. I told him if he stuck with me, that he would go to college for free and he would go to the NFL because that was my dream. And we had the same dream. Now I'm gonna whip out my phone. I said they don't take notes, but I'm gonna pull out my phone, and I'm glad to say that Malik today, he's the starting defensive tackle for Fresno State. He has 13 NFL teams looking at him. He goes to school for completely free full ride. And he'll graduate this spring with his degree in criminal justice, and this is Malik right here.
But I hope that gives you a feel for how important the stories related to the work you're doing at a foundation or a nonprofit are, and how important it is to tell those stories.